recording. Go.
No, like what? Why did you send him away?
No, I didn't
Bring him
wanna-
back.
No.
I want to know. Want to know what he thinks of Sahnic.
No, he doesn't care for Sonic, but he came in because someone...
He's big, strong man. I've never even met him, but I know that.
Oh,
Was that your brother?
yeah, that was my little brother.
Oh, your little brother. Okay.
Yeah, no. Like,
Okay. Not your older one. Never mind.
I don't have an older one. What the fuck you mean?
I thought you had an older brother.
No, I'm the
Don't
oldest.
you have an old? Didn't you have an older brother who was in the Corps?
No, that was my cousin.
Oh fuck yeah! In the back of
yeah.
my mind, I want you to know straight up. Not even kidding. I want you to know in the back of my mind before you even said cousin, straight up, I was like, was it a cousin? I'm pretty sure it was a cousin. Like after realizing I was wrong, and then you confirmed it for me. So I want you to know I don't know nothing about you. I fuck things up occasionally.
So yeah, guys, occasionally you'll have a friend you've been friends with for years. And they, will forget about certain important things they've told you about their life. And best thing to do when that happens is to not take it personally. Just tell them that they're a piece of shit. And we will see them at lunch tomorrow.
No. I'm a really good friend. I'm a really good friend because your girlfriend's name is Phil Collins, right? Like from Genesis. Yeah, you mentioned something about Genesis when it came to your girl's name. It's Phil,
Anyway, disregarding my family and my loved ones, we're here to talk about the blue blur and at the same time, a couple of certain things. But guys, welcome to the Double D experience. Sometimes blue, sometimes always ruining fucking companies because fuck you, I have money. But always low-key tired and have their eyes bleeding because working from home can kind of do that to you. And if you do work from home and all you do is stare at a computer all fucking day, get some eye drops. Seriously, buy them in bulk too. It's like, I mean, look, I'm not gonna sit here and say that, oh my god, like working from home is like the hardest thing in the world. It's not. But when your eyes feel that, because your eyes are important, fucking obviously, and it's like when they start to like, I went to the bathroom yesterday, worked till 10, right? Went to the bathroom, eyes were fucking bloodshot.
Ugh.
Wasn't good. Wasn't nice. So
we're not sponsored by them, but you should get some gunners. You should get a pair of gunners. Like those are like those red. Those are like those red tinted like prescription glasses that let you like stare at a screen like all day. I know some gamers. I don't know if gunners are good because I don't see gamers wear them much anymore, to be completely honest. But there are glasses like with like red eye reduction stuff.
Oh, Gunnar.
Like, yeah, like Nar. Like fucking Pinky in the Brain. Like
I don't know. I don't know why. It reminds me. What the fuck was it?
It reminds you of Gun.
No.
Sonic.
No. We're not. Well, let's hold with the references for now. Just for now.
I know we usually talk about my blue balls on this show, but today we're going to talk about the blue blur. Okay, not blue balls.
The shades.
Maybe blue balls. We don't know how the story in Frontiers is. Anyway,
if anyone has ever even thought about getting Gunnar like glasses, like they're in that shade. Like at least the lenses that I'm looking at, they're in that shade. I don't know. It reminds me like I feel as if a dude who works in fashion would wear these. Like it's got that shade of lens. I don't know. It like
some real Vogue shit. Like
yeah,
it looks
like yeah, like the guy's like I don't know. Like it's just in that chic society or whatever the fuck. Like.
Well, you walk into like his studio or whatever, and like you're not even there like shopping for yourself. It's just like, oh, you're so beautiful, darling. You're such a nice body. I have a perfect thing for you. And like his ass move looks like a woman as he walks away. Like straight up, like he knows how to like make each cheek like bounce up and down like between each other like women do.
And you kind of like just, me and David would be like just standing there like kind of Chris Tucker and Jackie Chan, like just buddy cop almost. Like I'm looking over at him, just like. You gotta make his cheeks move like that, bro. Like,
he turns to me. He looks at my height. It's just like, oh, you'd be perfect for the basketball collection, Holly. And then the plot twist. He has the sexiest wife. Like he's straight after all of that,
dude.
And he pulls out like a fucking model.
I feel as if
and then it's like, no, I'm pansexual, darling. Like that makes sense. He's probably pan or some shit.
But that's the thing. I feel as if that probably has happened to someone out there, like probably at least once, and then you just go back home like not knowing what the fuck to do with themselves because it's like, because it's just like something you don't see every day, you know? Like,
Uh-huh.
I mean, and personally for me, it's like, what do you call it? You know, like, everyone's like, at least if you live around here, like, you know, you've seen a gay dude at least once in your fucking life. Like, you know, you've seen at least one, right? And like, and every time you've seen them, right? Like, they're usually like, you know, the very, I don't want to call them stereotypical because that almost seems racist now. Like, you know, saying like, oh yeah, you're like this kind of gay, I guess. But
I think prejudice is the word.
I suppose, yeah. But I mean, that's the thing. Like, everyone always equates prejudice with racism. It almost never not equates together. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, but that's why I'm saying, like, at least when it comes to gay dudes, right? Have you ever? Because I've not seen one yet.
Yes.
I have never seen
Yes.
a gay dude who just talked like David and just said,
Yes.
I love dick.
Oh, I thought you meant like, I thought you were going to ask me if you ever knew a gay dude who actually just fucking talk like that, honey.
No, that's
Like,
what
he
I
actually
mean. Like,
okay,
because
like
we've
the
all
gay
seen
accent, like, is this,
Yeah.
I don't know what having your sexuality would make your accent different. I mean, it has to do with your testosterone and like your estrogen levels, I suppose. That's different. But like, I don't know. Like,
But that's the thing, you know, like lesbians, they're gay. They just like women, right? But like lesbians for the most part, I mean, you know, I don't
Miss Brazil and like Miss Puerto Rico or some shit announced that they secretly got married.
Oh yeah.
And when you look at the two of those women, you look at them and you're like, you two should not be gay. You do not look gay at all. You look like the most hetero women. You look like two women in the club who like fucking will make out with another woman viciously, but you're doing it for the attention of a man. Like, they look like the most hetero women you'll ever see in your life, but they're married to each other. And I'm happy. You know what they really look like? You want to know what they actually fucking look like? If you want to look up these two, look up Miss Puerto Rico, Miss Brazil marriage, or whatever. They look like the two women, right? They look like the two women who will mention in like a Vogue article or some shit or like some high society magazine or whatever, just like, yeah, the future chic best friend is having a best friend that you can walk around with and hold hands and, you know, we eat each other out sometimes and stuff and like, you know, we kiss and we finger each other, but we're not like gay. We're not like committed like that, you know, like we're just best friends and we fuck each other a little sometimes. We lick each other and we kiss and stuff, but we're not gay. That's the modern female best friend, which I've seen actual articles about, by the way.
This is the same equivalent of that one dude from SVU, just completely flipped. It's the complete fucking opposite, but it's the essence of it is the same fucking argument. It's like
look, as someone who was left, like my ex-girlfriend was a lesbian, right?
Yeah.
And you know, at the end of the day, you know, if she's out there being herself, you know, that's important. Obviously, it wouldn't have worked with her regardless. But these two women look like they're fucking, if they were gay, that they are fucking gay women in denial. Because they look like the kind of women, straight up, who would just literally say that shit. Just like, yeah, we eat each other out sometimes, but we're not gay or whatever. It's like, but no, they didn't lie to themselves anymore. They embraced it. They're like, I fucking love you, bitch.
Yeah.
That's what they did, and they got married in secret, and they're look very, very happy together. So I'm happy about that because I feel like in a less heteronormative world, the bad thing that happened to me and having like, you know, a woman who was fighting with her own sexuality, maybe that wouldn't have happened in the way that it did, and I wouldn't have had to go through that horrible heartbreak. But I grew from it as a person. It was necessary for my growth. Only reason I'm bringing it up is that maybe lesbians won't lie to themselves and date straight men, like lying to themselves that they're straight, and vice versa, you know? Because I feel like that happens way more with gay dudes.
But
you know what I mean?
It depends on what age they're at, because if they're like in college, right? They're just still trying to figure shit out, and like obviously when it comes to like, you know, who I want to fuck, usually it's like, you know, for women it's always like a toss up, but for dudes, like, it's either, traditionally speaking, it's either I love pussy, or you know what, I hate women, but being gay sounds kind of cool, so let's try that. But historically speaking, like, compared to us, right, those two paths, women be like, I want to fuck anything that moves when it comes to college. It's like, I want to try everything and anything.
Yeah.
And being lesbian, especially, like, is obviously like the more common, I guess, you know, path to take. But But it's just so odd to hear when, for most dudes, right, especially in college, like traditionally, we like girls, like we wanna fuck girls, like that's just usually the go of it traditionally in college.
Every
right?
shitty, college comedy, American Pie, whatever. It's like, what's the main plot point? What's the main plot point?
bro-
I want to crush puss, dude. Like every
But-
single one of those fucking movies.
But American Pie though has a special place in my heart, just because at the very least it captured both sides of like that whole experience. Because obviously, like, because like when they were in like still in school, and then afterwards when they like grew up and like became like actual functioning members of society, I don't know, some of them kind of looked as if I thought the next movies, like some of these guys, they're gonna be drug addicts for damn sure. But then they all ended up going into corporate or something else. Like they actually like got jobs and shit. I was like, damn, like,
yeah,
especially what was his name? Stickler, whatever the fuck his name is. I for sure thought like, oh damn, like I feel as if in the next movie this dude's gonna get like, he's gonna be in an obituary somewhere because he committed suicide or whatever.
Like, more like a hot bituary. Hell.
But going back to like, at least I was going back to college like real quick. It's just like I feel when you ask someone like, oh, like if I don't know if the question ever comes up, because it's like, you don't really just go up to someone and like ask like, who'd you fuck in college? Like it's really not a question you just kind of ask like right out of the blue, But like I think usually it's like after college that people kind of have it solidified who they want to fuck. Like I think it's pretty solidified by that point, like when you actually go into like real life.
No.
Oh, I know, yeah. And at least in David's experience, I know that is not the case. But
no, some people stay in denial until
I know.
like they're fucking.
I know. that's why I'm saying traditionally,
until
like
the next Sonic game comes out.
The next good Sonic game, because we do have some words to say about this one. But like, funny enough, me and David, we both got our copies, and we're literally itching to play the shit out of it.
Yeah, moving on. This is classic DDE right here. Now we're 12 and a half minutes in.
Yeah, but we at the same time had this shitty podcast to record for you fuckers, preventing us from enjoying this momentous occasion.
Yeah, it's
of
all
an
your
actually
fault.
good Sonic game coming out of the year of our Lord 2022. And I have some choice words for its critics, because y'all need to shut the fuck up about this. At least this one central point.
You didn't play it yet.
No, but at the same time, it's like people who. Okay, I digress. I'll get to that when I get to that. Point is, if y'all haven't figured out who the fuck you want to fuck, like by the end of college, bro, you have some real soul searching to fucking do.
If you have not realized after your college art class that you are attracted to hedgehogs and that is why you like Sonic that much, stop being in denial.
Like, bro,
I'm saying this as a straight dude. Stop lying to yourself.
Bro, and even just going to the furries that are like probably all the way in the back of this fucking audience, like, if y'all like that shit and it's solidified in you, I'm gonna still make fun of you. But hey, if that's who you like to fuck, then okay, like, good for you. Then you have that shit sorted. That's one checklist off on your life to figure shit out about.
I will say that the state of New Jersey will never recognize your marriage if it was declared by the fandom. I'll never forget that video. I'll show you that later.
Okay.
But we're ready. We're willing.
Yes, we're ready.
We're ready
All
because
to show...
of you fuckers, like Dennis said. We have not been able to play it yet. I could have bought it like at midnight last night, and I didn't work today specifically so I could play it. Actually, and also because I was doing adult shit, like I bought a shelf and I'm putting up a shelf, and I also stayed home so I could vote today.
We are ready to show our Sonic OCs to all of you. Don't steal.
Yes, we'll do the dramatic reading of Anthony's comment at the end of the episode, because I promised him we'd do that. Okay, so if I could quickly
yes, go.
Before we start this, I want to say
you have
this
the floor.
isn't. You don't have to worry about spoilers or anything. Because neither of us have played.
Yeah, we haven't played it yet. This is gonna be
literally gonna do that like as soon as the fucking.
This is gonna be like first impressions of first impressions, honestly.
Yeah.
Because like we haven't even touched the game yet. I downloaded it. I actually, funny enough, I always do this with certain games that I just download. It's like I would press play game on Steam, and then I'd exit out immediately. Like, I would just like go into the main menu, see the main menu come up and everything, and I just press exit. But it was also at the same time, I was still working, so I couldn't really exactly play it without any worries or fears. So
The temptation.
like I'm telling you guys, after I record, I'm gonna eat a big ass fucking meal because your boy is fucking hungry. And at the same time, I'm sipping double espresso. I am fucking ready to go fast in this game. So
I'm here.
I am on literal liquid speed. I'm on liquid fucking speed. You know the funny thing is though, my girlfriend even just told me, like, cause she's seen like how slowly, like essentially this happened ever since like my sister moved back from California and she's been living with us here. I've been drinking a lot more coffee since she got here, and it has fucked me, man. It has fucked me.
Yeah, be
Not
careful.
fucked with
gotta
me.
watch your blood
Not-
pressure, man.
That's what I mean. Like, not fucked with me. It has fucked me with a pH. And, bro, it went from like, oh, drinking like black coffee, just like, 15 grams of caffeine, to like, motherfucker needs a double shot now. It went from that to that. And I understand, like, she's basically what my girlfriend said. We ain't having espresso in the house. And you know what my first gut response was? It was the same response a heroin addict would have when they say that you have no more heroin. I was like,
oh yeah, I'm sure it's a one-to-one comparison.
No, but
Dennis.
it was basically like the same like response any addict would have. It's like, but what? Like, it was literally that, because I was like, it was just like, but I want my espresso. Like, you know, like that's how like my whole tone was with my response, because like I don't know, man. It has fucked me. Like, if anyone like has recently grown a caffeine addiction, it'd be rough
Get some
sometimes. Yeah, it'd be rough sometimes. Like, honestly,
Get some
I haven't
nuggets.
I haven't ever gotten like withdrawal like symptoms or anything of that. I haven't like been fucking scratching myself like a crack addict would, like, you know, to get coffee or whatever. But like, there's just like, my form of, I guess, addiction isn't that like, it's like, oh, I fucking need it. It's just kind of like, you know, I've had it
Talking about Sonic.
I know. But it's like, okay, real quick, my form of addiction is that like, not that, oh, like I really need it. It's just that like, oh, like I would just absentmindedly just be sitting, right? I'd be like, oh, let's get some coffee. But like, I would do it habitually though. That's the thing. It's not like, I need to get coffee. Like, I just go and get it because it's just out of habit at this point. And habitual, like the habitual form of addiction, I think, is even more dangerous, because it's like, you think in yourself, it's not a problem. It's just something I do. It's my routine, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
But, you know, from a third person perspective, it's like, damn, this guy's been having double shots and knocking it back like it's fucking Tequila Wednesday, like over in the Tijuana, like Habungo, like, you know, wherever the fuck. Like, I don't even know where I was going with that. But basically, point is, we're moving on.
Colombia.
If you have a caffeine addiction, it's rough, but try to fix it. Try to fix it.
Well, just watch your blood pressure, man. I mean, just like
Yeah.
know how many grams is, like, you know, maybe like 240 or whatever, like in an 8-hour day or something like that. If not, you can have more than that for that. I mean, as long as like it doesn't affect your body in like horrible ways, which it can. I ain't gonna lie to you, but that's just me speaking as somebody with like blood pressure issues or what have you. But it's probably just anxiety or whatever. I don't know. One of those perpetually anxious people. What the fuck were we even fucking talking about? Yeah. Sonic the Hedgehog, weren't we? Yeah. Okay. Sick. Awesome. Okay. Typical Double D experience fashion, my friends. You know, you probably saw Sonic on the thumbnail. 20 minutes in, we're getting to it. Not that we'll probably even have an hour just of him to talk about. We got a couple other things, but I'm just gonna, since we didn't play the game, we're not reviewing it or nothing. Here we go. I did a thing to myself recently.
Oh, no. What did you do?
I did a thing to my mind and to my body.
Oh no.
Something that would rival having too much caffeine affecting you medically in such a way, except instead of Dennis going up, it was me going down. I instilled a downer into myself recently as commonly as Dennis injects uppers into his mouth through the black bean. In anticipation for Sonic Frontiers, and to make what I thought was going to be an already amazing game even more amazing by comparison, I, for the first time, almost exactly 5 years after its initial release, played to completion Sahnic Farces. And that game, much like in comparison to addictions of mine to porn as opposed to Dennis's to caffeine, it's one of those things that you just do too much, even though I did it so little. Much in comparison to the sexy ladies I would look at, Sahnic Farces was some hot ass. That game sucked. Oh my lord. And I knew it sucked going in. That's the thing. It's considered one of the worst Sonic games now.
God damn.
Among the worst 3D Sonic games.
Woo.
My biggest TLDR for it before I go in, it is not the worst 3D Sonic game. I cannot take that away from 06. I can't.
But it is still cheeks.
No, Sonic Farces is like, holy shit. That game just didn't make any sense to be as bad as it was. Like, and a lot of it like came from our expectations of it, because it's like a weird cycle of like the American political system switching, like it's voting day to day, like from Democrat to Republican, because every 5 years there's a new Sonic game at this point, or a new major 3D Sonic game in the Boost style, and the one before that was Generations, which like to this day is considered the best 3D Sonic game. And if you play Generations, that game's great, man. Like, the mini games, like, the way the mechanics work in between, like, everything feels so good and reaction-based, the different paths you can take. Classic Sonic is not one-to-one in comparison to how he controlled in the old games, but it's good enough as its own thing. And not the walk through Sonic's history. Like, that game was just perfect, honestly. Or, not perfect, but it was damn near freaking close to it. So we figured, okay, great. New game, original story, in that same style. It's gonna be phenomenal, right? No. We should have known from the trailer, when classic Sonic first appears to save modern Sonic. We should have known from his very first appearance. That should have been the first warning flag. Because it goes to show that they were just like, oh, classic Sonic worked in Generations. Let's put him in the new game as well, even though he has no fucking reason to be there. Like, it goes to show that instead of, like, him authentically being there, they did that because out of just desperation of what worked. Sonic Farces. Okay. I'm going to TLDR it as best as I can. You know, I really struggle to find anything good to say about the game. There's no sense doing, like, a review of it, because I'm not going to do that. But, like, everything about it just failed. You know, the level design was terrible, because the levels not only are way too short, way too fucking short, there's like hardly any like skill involved in them, because a lot of them are just like straight pathways that really for like something like 12-20 seconds on end, you can just hold X to boost through the whole thing. It's like when you play Sonic Farces, it's like a fucking cutscene half the time, which by the way, they use pre-rendered cutscenes in it. This game was on the fucking PS4, my dudes. Why are we still having cutscenes that look like they belonged on the 360? They were terrible to look at. You know, the characters were just throttled around and, like, messed around with. The way they advertised the game was awful as well, because, I guess, spoilers for Sonic Farces, it's a 5-year-old game at this point. Go fuck yourself if, like, I spoil anything for you. They advertised it with, like, Shadow being, like, a villain again, which he wasn't. That was a cock tease on top of that. It just turned out, oh, it was a copy of Shadow the whole time. Blah, blah, blah. Chaos is like, they bring Chaos back from Sonic Adventure in the game, and he's not even a boss fight. The character dies in a cutscene. Like, it's like, so why was he even there?
On top of that, ain't it?
All the tropes are so basic and shit. The cutscenes look terrible. The story had so much potential because it's set in a world where Eggman fucking won. where Eggman conquered the universe. His new weapon in Infinite worked, and everybody thought Sonic was dead. It turned out he was just being held prisoner by Eggman for like 6 months, and they all thought he was dead, so Eggman just was able to just steamroll the world and take it over. And right as the Resistance is about to fail, a hero rises from the ashes. In terms of who the fuck this game was trying to appeal to, the Avatar character. Which was directly inspired by fucking, like, Dylan the Hedgehog, who's, like, you know, an imperfect clone of Sonic and is also pregnant with his child. You know, all sorts of, like, Sonic OCs. So they decided to make, okay, let's have this game be able to make your own OC. Which, funny enough, is one of the funnest parts about the game, being able to make your own little Sonic OC. And is the reward for completing the game, by the way. You literally gain more slots to make more OCs. That's the fucking reward for beating Sonic Forces. Which short-ass game as well, by the way. I beat the whole thing in a conglomeration of like 4 to 5 hours. On top of that, in 2 separate sessions. It's like this game... How do I best describe it, right? Before I go on too long. It's like this game tried. It tried so unfucking believably hard to appeal to everyone.
Oh no.
And as a result, it didn't all work together. It was like this game, here's how my analogy will go. This game tried to bake a cake, but instead of using harmonious ingredients that work together in a cake, such as flour, sugar, azúcar, frosting, it used like bacon grease and like salad and just steaming garbage that they found in the back of Sega HQ in the fucking dumpster that Sonic Team fished out in the back, threw it all together in a blender and called it a day. And the reason I say that is because it tried to appeal to like the Sonic fan shippers or whatever by making Sonic OCs, tried to appeal to people who like the modern Sonic formula and the boost mechanic, tried to appeal to nostalgia tryhards by putting classic Sonic in this game for no fucking reason. He serves zero purpose to the story. He does nothing. There's no reason for him to be there at all. But they put him in the game anyway, just so they could be classic Sonic, which doesn't even fit with, like, the dark theme of this fucking game anyway. Eggman took over the world. They think Sonic is dead. They have to rely on, like, a ringer to try to save him from being held hostage on the Death Egg. Let's just put classic Sonic in, and instead of hard rock music, it'll be like those like cheery classic Sonic gameplay. It's like, why the fuck is he here? It made no sense. And the worst part is it's canon. Because that's how Sonic Mania ends. In Sonic Mania, which is the game that, you know, is the classic Sonic formula. It's the game that, you know, came out like a year before Forces. Which is literally one of the best Sonic games ever made, by the way. Like, just like, it's like, you know, it plays like the classic Sonic games. It looks like Sonic the Hedgehog, Sonic 3 and Knuckles, all that and stuff like that. The 100% ending when you get it is using the Phantom Ruby that is attached to Infinite. Sonic gets sucked into another dimension. And then in Sonic Forces, he just appears in that same looking portal with the same sound effect, and that's why he's there. It's literally canon with Sonic Mania, which is the saddest part of it all. The best Sonic game and the worst Sonic game came out within a year of each other. And the worst part of it all is that the levels are like Green Hill and fucking, what's the one? Chemical Plant Zone. Sonic Forces.
You're familiar with, right? Like, yeah, like that most Sonic fans would be familiar with.
Sonic Forces somehow plays to nostalgia harder than the Sonic game that was literally made to be like the classic Sonic games and play like them. That game has more new and unique locations than Sonic Forces! It didn't make any sense! Not to mention the game's controls feel clunky, and Sonic goes from 0 to 100 in like a second. The animations look terrible as well because the frames are just awful. Like, he just instantly turns into a ball when he jumps. And the controls are just clunky for the reason that instead of like having a natural progression to speed like you have in Frontiers, he'll be slowly moving, no! And then like without even boosting, he'll just start like moving like from 0 to 100. The controls are awful. How did they fuck it up that bad? I literally felt like I've been playing this game for like a week, but I haven't. It was 2 days, and holy fuck, that game was just as bad as everybody said it was on top of it, man. So, I'm done ranting.
And you chose that one to prepare for this release too, which I kind of feel
I
bad
did.
about. I kind of feel bad.
I did it on purpose to make Frontiers feel that much more amazing. Straight up. Because I had never played Sahnic Farces. It's been on my Switch for 3 years.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's been on my Switch for 3 years because the game's like $20, and it's a $20 game. Is
Bro,
what it is, man.
I mean, from what you're telling me, it almost sounds as if it would be like a $15 game with like just all those problems. Like,
give it another year.
Wait until the next Steam sale. So,
yeah. Literally, the level design, classic Sonic being there. The game is so much better with like mods, just quality of life things. Quick time events that literally don't even matter if you fail them. Homing attacks don't work half the time when like Sonic even like turns to look at them. Like that feels clunky and terrible. It's like, yeah, it's one of those games that argue with itself. And the story had so much potential. The voice acting was great, whatever. But like, there are some plot holes in it as well. They added a DLC where you play a Shadow and it's literally only 3 levels and it's supposed to be a backstory to Infinite. Fuck. I really fucked up here because I really did not want to be venting about Sahnic Farces as long as I did. I actually meant to hardly talk about it at all, and I was going to link a review that I watched that really better expresses how I feel in the comments below, but I took up 10 minutes and Dennis hasn't said anything. So honestly, I'm sorry. I really didn't mean to go off like that.
Everyone, I think, at least when it comes to like certain franchises, it's like, look, everyone's got their opinions, and at least between the two of us, I'm gonna let you say. I'm gonna let you say what you want to say. Like, I know, like, you know, for me, just gonna shift it over to me real quick. Like, the last Sonic game that I've played in honestly recent memory might have been Adventure 2, and that was like in passing because I found it on Steam. Terrible fucking port, by the way.
That's
barely
disappointing to hear.
Yeah, like barely fucking worked. But and the thing is, the last fond memory I have of just Sonic in general was when me and David went to go see Film Dos like thing at the theater together, and that was like honestly like my last time, like, you know, well, first time in a while that like I had anything Sonic related shown to me, and like I actually really liked it. And you know, there was a couple times also that like I went on YouTube and I watched Super Mario Bros. Z, if anyone remembers that, like that flash animation, like from a long time, from a long time ago. Never finished, for obvious reasons, but you know, like at the same time, like it was still like just watching it again and just seeing like all the nostalgia like that I felt like from way back when to now, like it just like was so great to watch again. And now Frontiers has come out, and I coming into it again like, as a very much like a Sonic enjoyer, not really so much a fan. I have to say, I'm going into this with definitely kind of unfair to say, I guess, but like I'm coming into this with definitely some expectations, and not just solely because like, you know, I've already seen some of the reviews that people have said. I think the Completionist has already put up a spoiler-free review, so if you guys want to check that out, you could, you know, probably watch it to get like, I guess, a bit of a first impression of the game. But he enjoyed it. He's like one of the biggest Sonic fans that I've ever seen, like just flat out. And for the most part, people have nothing but good stuff to say about it. And this is just like, I think November in general is just like, I think David, you said it right. Yo, gamers be eating good this month, honestly. Like we got this game, and if you also got a PS5, you got God of War Ragnarok coming in like 2 days. I think no, tomorrow, honestly. Yeah, it's coming tomorrow. And I was also a goober because I thought, Ragnarok's coming for PC, right? He's coming for PC, right? Right?
Gotta
No.
sell them units, big dog.
No.
Gotta sell them units, big dog.
It was, unfortunately, your boy was mistaken because, bro, it was definitely one of those, like, moments where, you know, when you open the fridge and you keep closing it and then opening it, thinking that you're gonna magically find food, like, in the fridge.
When
Like,
it's
that
midnight,
was,
you got the munchies and you
yeah,
don't want to
like,
go anywhere.
the equivalent of that for me in that moment was me going through my Steam store and typing in God of War in the search bar and only the first game popping up. Not even a single mention of Ragnarok in there. And I actually like looked further and it just like had nothing in it. Then I looked up on Google. Release is for PS4 and 5 only. So Sony really is gonna be that asshole right now and basically say that you gonna wait, bitch. You gonna wait, huh? You RTX 3080 having motherfucker like that. You gonna wait because I don't know. Sony definitely like low key hates PC. I think PC users in general, just because like you know Sony holds on to their exclusives like no one else.
They have to.
Like they have to, but
since Microsoft
like,
bought Bethesda, bought Activision Blizzard, has the Game Pass deal going on, plus the exclusives with PC, they gotta do something, dude. If anything, the fact that you thought that the game was gonna be on PC
was a little
really
premature.
does make you that deep of a goober. Because
it
really would they do that?
It really was. I will admit that, and that's why. Like I'm not disagreeing with Dave. Like Sony really is like not on the chopping block, I guess, but it's like they for sure.
They got to do something.
Yeah, they got to do something because, like, you know, as far as competing, it's like they're kind of dead last between them and Microsoft. Like the only thing that they have going for them is their exclusives, TBH, right? And I have no like, you know, definitely the Ragnarok is definitely going to be coming, you know, for the PC, like probably a year or two down the line after they sold enough units, because like
because the last one, God of War, is on PC now.
Yeah, exactly. So like, you know, it's just bound to happen. But
yeah,
I have to wait because I am not going to drop $500 for a fucking PS5. And there's apparently rumors that a PS5 Slim might be coming out.
I heard those rumors.
Even if that is true, I ain't gonna get it. Because I already know that, you know, they're going to be bringing that shit to us, like to Steam, eventually. And I could wait for Ragnarok, honestly. Like, I already have the first game. I still have to finish that one. So, you know, obviously I'm not going to fucking jump the gun on that. But now going back to Sonic Frontiers real quick. Like, aside from, I guess, what everyone has already been saying, at least going off of the few Steam reviews that I'm looking at, as of Tuesday today, I had to really check the date real quick.
It's moved like a fucking pigeon.
It was
like that nosedive you just did. You're like,
I had to check that date real quick, but November 8th, as of the day of recording, like, you know, today, the Steam reviews have come in and people have nothing but good things to say about it. Like Sonic fans, new and old, just talking this game up. And again, I'm going into it like, you know, knowing that like, okay, people's first impressions as of right now at least are that, okay, the game is solid and all of that, right? And this was also there was another thing that I thought about after I watched the Completionist's review, and it was that I want more, if that makes sense. And what I meant by that was that like, okay, first of all, you know, people are going to say, well, Dennis, what the fuck are you talking about? This world is fucking massive. Like, you're probably going to easily spend 20, 30, maybe 40 hours into this game, like easy, right? And you're not wrong on that. And obviously, like with the story and just the expanse of the world in general, like it's just fucking huge. But like, what I'm about to say is something that I typically frown upon because I am still of that whole generation where we got games that were completed upon release. And I'm not saying that this game is unfinished, but there's no way they're not going to do DLC for this game. There's no fucking way that they're not. It would be retarded of them to not bring in literally everybody from the entire Sonic universe into this fucking game. There's no way they're not going to do it. And knowing that, like, we got what? I think Sonic, Knuckles, Tails, and Amy. Those are apparently the 4 characters that are confirmed to be in the game. Not really so much a spoiler, TBH, because it's like, you
Also,
know,
Big the Cat.
yeah, and Big the Cat. But, like, where is Mommy Rouge? Where is Shadow?
Where is Shadow?
Here's the thing. People think, like, okay, like, you don't need those characters to be in a Sonic game for it to be even a Sonic game. Like, okay, yeah, that's true. But I think nowadays, there's almost no reason not to have them either. Like, Shadow himself, I'll even argue this, his popularity is honestly up there with Sonic. Almost the same fucking rank, if nothing else.
I was just thinking about that the other day. He's really, for somebody who was created as sort of like an anti-hero in like the way that he was like, Sonic has a lot of like one villain characters.
Yeah.
Sonic Adventure has Chaos. You know, Sonic Heroes, they bring Metal Sonic back. Shadow the Hedgehog, you know, the black creatures.
Yeah. Sonic 06 had the Nephil, whatever.
Still had Mephiles, you know,
Yeah.
Silver. Every single one of those, one game never comes back until Sonic Forces, where they tried to make a game that appeals to every single Sonic fan and, you know, just conglomerated into nothing. Why was Shadow not only one of those characters? He's not. He's still around. Yeah. He's still hugely popular.
Bro's too
The
popular
bombshell at the end of the Sonic 2 movie is that Shadow's going to be in the third one.
People went ape shit for that cameo like you would not believe. Like, people were more hyped for that cameo than the actual fucking movie to a certain extent.
It was better than any MCU fucking post-credit scene that they've had in God knows how long.
That is not a cap either. For anyone like, I guess, that are gonna naysay that. Like, bro, I went into that movie. I knew the movie was gonna be like good. Like, I knew it. I wasn't going in expecting like fucking Scorsese ass like type writing like in this fucking movie. But
I was.
But you got your expectations dashed and subverted, David. But I went into it knowing that, like, okay, I'm gonna have fun with this movie, and I'm here for Shadow too. That was the main thing I went into it. I was like,
where is Shadow?
Yeah, it's like, where is Shadow? Like, literally, I was there for John Bernthal better be fucking Shadow.
Yeah, I remember when Dennis wasn't like whispering in my ear, it's like, I just want a piece of that helicopter's ass. You feel me? He was literally like telling me, like, David, I'm here for Shadow. Like, I'm vouching for what Dennis is saying right now. He straight up told me in the fucking theater, David, I'm gonna be real with you. I'm only here for Shadow.
Bro, we literally paid $10 for a 30-second clip. If you really want to break it down,
that's like what Musk is trying to do right now.
Point being,
Shadow
like,
is the GOAT.
Sonic Frontiers. I hope, at the very least, like, that
He might be in it, dude. We don't.
No. That's what I mean. Like, I really do hope that, like, they, well, I don't know, maybe release a roadmap or something like down the line. Because
I like Shadow's current voice actor. I liked how he sounded in Forces a lot, actually. Like, he sounded really good, to be honest. You know, because in Generations, he has, like, one line of dialogue, and he sounds terrible. Like, he literally sounds like he's been smoking, like, a pack a day for 20 years.
God damn.
Now he sounds at least a little bit more like himself, but, like, a more modern spin on it, just like Sonic does. Like, you know, Roger Craig Smith, like, sounding older and whatnot. My God, man, this fucking game, it's just... Biggest problem with Forces is that game literally plays itself. They were too scared to make something that didn't play well, so a lot of the game is automated, which made it so fucking boring. You know what I mean? It's like, how do I... It's bland and lifeless gameplay-wise, and, you know, like, it just tried to mix everything so well into a blender, and as a result, you know, like, it wound up not controlling well. So the fact that Frontiers is even open world, and like Sonic is like, you know, gained speed in the way that he does, and it's way more free flowing in that kind of way. That alone was enough to make me like know in my heart of hearts this game's gonna be so much better. And even looking at the trailers, I was like, this game's gonna be so much better
if they don't fuck it up.
Yeah, if they don't fuck it up. I mean, I could just tell from watching it that it's so much better. Like solely by the way that Sonic gains momentum. It's like Sonic literally doesn't gain momentum in Forces. Everything is automated to such an extent to the point where the way he gains speed like doesn't even look real. And that's kind of fucking important for a Sonic game. Like the older Sonic games did that way better. Even before like the boost mechanics, like in the adventure games, he like gradually gained speed way faster, and then you started like, you know, going at that Sonic speed. And then like to subvert that, in the new games you have the boost mechanic. But then it doesn't matter with the boost mechanic. All right, I'm rambling again. Sorry. Point is Frontiers, just from watching it, I know it's better.
Yeah, and just going off of the whole open world thing. Now, I have seen some people using the whole thing of,
Tell them.
This is like their main argument. A lot of reviewers, their main argument is that like, this is just Sonic, and they just like are copying Breath of the Wild, and like almost as if it's like a bad thing that they're doing that, because for one, I will say this: Sonic Frontiers biomes, rolling hills again. Is this going to be the fourth game of open worldness that we're just going to see rolling fields?
There's other environments. One of them is a city, and like another one.
Yeah. I know that. But then it's like, you know, now going off of Breath of the Wild 2, right? That shit ain't even going to be on the ground anymore. Like we're going to the skies and shit. Like apparently that's like where they said we're going to be going in Breath of the Wild 2. So like, for that alone, okay, it's like, okay, I'll give you that one. But people are comparing every single motherfucking open world game that has ever come out in the last like 3 years, since essentially like Breath of the Wild has come out, and comparing it to Breath of the Wild almost as if it's just like an instinct at this point. It's like, they have an open world? Well, it's just like Breath of the Wild, isn't it? Just like how people even use the term Souls-like when comparing games that are like Dark Souls.
That shit.
And that's actually a fucking tag on Steam. Souls-like is a fucking tag on Steam. And again,
show how inspirational that shit is. I mean,
which again, though, here's the thing. That just at least it's a double-edged thing, because on one end, when something says that, when a game says that they're tagged as like Souls-like, and being compared to Dark Souls, that just tells you at least the influence that Dark Souls has had, like on that, I guess, their own sort of genre. Like, you know, they started that shit, honestly. And there have just been like more and more Souls-like games that have come out. I mean, to be fair, much of them are from FromSoft. 90% of them, honestly. Like even the ones you thought like, this doesn't look like Dark Souls, it's from FromSoft. Like fucking Sekiro. It is what it is. So like, you know, like you thought that wasn't Souls-like? Bitch, you thought! Literally. But going back to like, I guess now the whole argument that, Sonic Frontiers is awfully like Breath of the Wild. Yeah, no shit, fucking idiot. Fucking dumbass, man. Because it's like, as if it's a crime. They say it as if it's like a negative that, what? This game is trying to like rip off or looks eerily like Breath of the Wild. It's like, and? What, like as if Breath of the Wild was a bad game? What the fuck's your point here? Like, why is that? And also like, I said this to David, it is the most unproductive form of criticism that I've ever heard in my life. Because they have that as a negative for this game. And I'm like, why? There's nothing wrong with the fact that, okay, yeah, maybe it is like, and also it's just like, because it's open world, automatically it's like Breath of the Wild. And what, you want it to be like a Ubisoft checklist sort of fucking open world where you have like all this shit on the map that you like, that is just like chores? Is that what you fucking want? And I mean, at least in the case of like Breath of the Wild, it's like that shit you had to explore, man. Like you actually had to go find that shit. Not like, it's just all these little icons on the map where it's like, like go here if you want to do that, go here if you want to do that. Most of it's just fucking useless tasks at the end of the day. Really. And
the same thing happened with so many JRPGs once Persona 5 was out there. There were people complaining that it didn't have like elements from that game, and it's like, bro, what is... Why?
Yeah, why?
It's not. Why does it have to be that? Like, it's a Pokemon game. Why are you? It doesn't make any sense.
People also love. I mean, the thing is, like, people have to stop doing this because it makes your arguments sound fucking retarded. Like, you could compare stuff. I'm not saying you can't, but when you bring it to the extent, like, when you talk about it to the extent where it's like your main your main argument, you really need to smarten the fuck up and just stop doing that because it makes you look like a fucking idiot.
YouTubers are literally more credible. They are more credible now than game reviewers, than game journalists.
Absolutely.
I watch I don't even watch like too many reviews of games unless it's YouTubers I already watch. That's where the modern gamer gets their takes from YouTubers they already like, not from like game journalists, from people they've never even fucking heard of that work for an organization that already has like zero credibility, like IGN and Polygon and Kotaku and all those fucking ones. All those ones, man. I'm gonna link you a video after this. It's top 10 worst IGN reviews. Critical just watched it. You're gonna get something out of it because it's like the top 10 like most disliked IGN reviews. I think that were reviewed too high. Or
I know one of them
poorly.
I know one of them. It was the one for Pokemon Omega
Sword and Shield.
Ruby. No, Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire.
That one too. Yeah, like, that one.
You know what their main? Everyone remembers. Anyone who has ever even touched Pokemon,
the classic.
Like, everyone knows what their main fucking argument was for their score.
Too much water, you guys. It's too much water in the game. 7 out of 10.
It's like, that's how they fucking sound.
Yeah.
And like now people are gonna be saying,
this game is like way too much like Breath of the Wild. And that's why I'm gonna give it a 6 out of 10 because like Breath of the Wild did it first. Like like no other game should ever try to do an open world like Breath of the Wild because I say so, and my credibility is that I write about games for a living, and I went to school for journalism. It's like, bro, I couldn't give less of a fuck if you had a doctorate in your fucking degree. I could not give less of a fuck.
They gave Doom like a 7, and they gave it a 7 mainly for like its loadouts and its repetitive arenas. The multiplayer was like a side project. Like that game was about the fucking campaign, you dickhead. Like, my God. And it's like not like IGN is one entity. It's made up of a bunch of reviewers. So occasionally they will drop a good review of something, but some people who work there are just fucking stupid.
Yeah.
It's like
dead ass. It's just like that.
It's like, and another thing that I don't like about it is like the way that IGN has influenced the modern sphere of game reviewing in general. Because if a game is any less than a 7 out of 10,
garbage.
Yeah.
It's garbage.
Dude!
Don't play it. Don't buy it.
Like that rating system is so flawed. It's
the thing is,
so flawed. Out of 10 is so stupid because like people think of a game gets like a 6 out of 10. That is on the positive scale. That's still mostly
or at least
good.
It should be. But people are so like, okay, guys, we're gonna try and also wrap this up a bit because like we have a game to play. But I guess some closing thoughts in a bit. Like literally, reviewers are not the end all be all for a professional opinion about a certain game if you're like really trying to look for one. Because at the end of the day, it's like, form your own fucking opinion. Like, and I mean at the same time though, like people will say, oh well, that means I'll have to buy the game and try it out, and if I don't like it, that's a waste of money. Bro, literally everyone's got a return policy. Even fucking Steam. You have no excuse at this point to form your own fucking opinion. And when people didn't like Cyberpunk, people fucking returned that shit en masse. Literally. And they bought it back at the fraction of the price now because it's like, what, $30? Like, money talks, and that's how it is. But
Sonic Unleashed. They gave Sonic Unleashed such a bad review as well, and that was like the best Sonic game in years at the time, and...
People like, especially Sonic, has just had the bad luck of being a pretty shit franchise.
Famous one, Last of Us Part 2, a perfect 10.
Yeah, fuck out of here. No.
Oh my
Fuck outta here.
lord, bro. Like
Again, if you like Last of Us, we're not
that
taking
shit
nothing away
was
from
a
you.
failed movie script.
It was not a 10. Not by any means. It was a high 6.
Death
if
Stranding,
anything.
another one. Death Stranding,
Walking
the walking
simulator.
simulator.
Yeah.
The walking simulator.
I said it before.
Jeez, this was fucking 2006. I'd knock on wood right now. Tell me you owe me a soda. That was like at the
Visually?
same damn time we said that.
Visually, great games. But, bro, people are actually even dogging on Sonic Frontiers saying that, bro, I'm literally paying $60 for PS3 graphics. Bro, shut the fuck up. If you care so much about graphic fidelity, go somewhere else and just return your game. And just kindly shut the fuck up. Nobody here... Like, people were even saying that, like, oh, Kingdom Hearts is just like, what the fuck is this? It's like, I thought this was going to be next gen. It'll look next gen. It's like, bro, nobody here is playing this game because they just want to see all the pretty shit. They're here because they're going to see some disgustingly elephantitis-footed kid swing around a fucking key and save his friends and talk about light and darkness. That's why people got the game. No one really gave a fuck about graphics. And that's a whole nother fucking topic in and of itself. But it's like, the game looks fine. Shut up.
It's so
Just
flawed
shut the
too,
fuck
man.
up.
Like, literally doing it in an odd number is so much better. That's how Arlo used to do his reviews. He would do it from 1 to 7. Which makes way more sense, because then when he says his game is a 4 out of 7, it doesn't sound as bad. You know what I mean? Because, like, it will sound like middle of the pack. Now he just thinks numbers are stupid, and he doesn't include numbers in his reviews at all, which, honestly, I respect, to be completely honest, because IGN has instilled a 6 out of 10 or worse is a trash game that is never, ever worth playing. And they've instilled that in a whole fucking generation. They gave a Call of Duty guy the fucking Doom review to do. And, like, because it's not Call of Duty, he thought it was bad. Like, why? We don't review movies like this, so why are games this way? You know what I mean? It's like, ugh.
And not to mention, it's like games and movies are a lot
They gave
more...
Black Ops 3 a 9.2. And, like, dude, that game's campaign was trash.
Wow.
It was literally the most, like, boring fucking campaign and the least played one in the history of COD. And they gave the game a 9.2. And I love that game, don't get me wrong.
Yeah, but the
still.
campaign, like, just, you know, people, like, again, people like these, like, IGN and everything, are gonna miss the mark a lot of the time. Not sometimes, a lot of the time. They're gonna miss the mark more than you think. And...
Oh, don't forget Sword and Shield. That's another one.
And Sword and Shield.
Oh,
And
fuck.
also the Diamond and Pearl remakes. I remember that. So, basically, our case in point is, if you got Sonic Frontiers already booted up, like us, and you're ready to play it, fucking by all means, man, enjoy the game. And we'll probably have some, I guess, actual review thoughts next week.
Mhm.
You know, just telling you guys, like, about our experience with the game. And also if whether or not, like, we actually finished it, because, like, open world games, bro, I'm gonna tell you right now, something about, like, open world games that sometimes it's just so fucking big
Yeah.
that it is almost daunting to finish, and it makes me not want to finish it. if
I'm
that
hoping
makes
it's going to
sense.
be like a good half measure, not only for the fact that there are 5 giant open worlds, if you would, like, not just like one really, 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 really massive one,
Yeah.
but the fact that it is also Sonic. You know what I mean? And it's not like, you know, like you're like fucking God of War, you know, Chris Pratt.
Or
"What
Elden Ring."
is this place? Like walking around like you're
Yeah.
discovering it. If you see something in the fucking distance, you can literally just jump off a hill, spin dash your way, pew, get your way over there. And God, I can't wait to fucking do that.
Yeah.
Oh boy, I cannot wait.
So guys, yeah, closing thoughts. Like, reviews are not everything. Review sites and review, like, you know, guys like IGN, like, their opinions, like, are not like the fucking... I think everyone already knows at this point that IGN low-key is a bit of a clown in the industry because of all the stupid, really retarded hot takes they've done for a lot of games over the years. Everyone kind of knows that they're, like, low-key, like, not to be taken that seriously. True. But at the same time, it's like, bro, if you really are trying to form an opinion about a game, just go buy it and play it. And if you don't like it, well, just make sure to return it within the return policy, you know, time window, and you're good because there's no excuse anymore to not form your own fucking opinion about a certain game, because you could literally return it if you don't like it, and you have Cyberpunk to thank for that. So again, we excited for the game because I haven't played a good Sonic game in a long time. So at the same time, I am here as a Sonic enjoyer. I do not have OCs like the vast majority of you, I'm pretty sure, have made. And again, like, I am going to be enjoying my time with it. And I'm also be playing God of War, so I'm playing a lot of games right now. So I have a lot in my backlog at the moment. So
I like Dennis the Hedgehog. I'm looking at some of these right now.
Stop it. Don't do this.
This one's
Why?
red. He's got a little handkerchief and he's got the peace sign.
Why
So
are you
cute.
doing this? Why are you doing this?
Oh, this one looks edgy. This one's like white with sunglasses and like this like cool looking vest. Ooh.
Nintoonist, I swear to God, if you put these pictures up on the podcast, I actually castrate you in your sleep. But anyways, that's my thoughts. Like, you know,
This one looks like Shadow with jeans.
just go enjoy the game. I'm trying my best to ignore David right now. Just go and enjoy like the game. Just, you know, fuck anyone and what anyone else says. Just go enjoy what you like. You know, like life is
Check
too
reviews
fucking
with a grain
short.
of salt.
Yeah.
You know
And
what I
again,
mean? It's like
You could return it if you want to. You know, it's not like back in the day. Actually, no, I don't even know if Steam had a return policy back in the day because like I never heard anything about it. But again, you could return the game if you don't like it. That's all I'm saying.
Steam does,
So-
by the way.
Yeah. Okay. So I know they do, but like I was wondering like way back when, before like all this cyberpunk shit that happened like I think a good year ago. But yeah, I don't know. That's the thoughts of a Sonic enjoyer.
My closing thoughts. People who upload game footage
Oh, this. Oh,
Before-
this.
the game is even out or on release date and spoil shit in the thumbnail that I can't avoid seeing unless I just don't use the internet, period, because YouTube and its dumbass algorithms are like, do you like Sonic? Here's Sonic! And it's direct spoilers in the title, the thumbnail, everything. From some dickhole who probably like either hacked his Switch or some shit and uploaded footage early, or got a review copy and uploaded all that shit early. Go fuck yourselves.
Yeah.
You're the worst.
All
You're
of
literally the way, like, Prosavia Gaming, like, all those types of, like, fucking YouTubers. You are literally the bottom of the barrel fucking content creators. Because you're not even content creators. You're not even making anything. And I hate that term already. But, like, you are the worst. You are the worst because you know what you're doing. You know because we watch Sonic shit or whatever that, like, those videos are gonna show up in our fucking feeds. Yeah. And it's not even, like, it used to be day one. They used to upload those videos at, like, fucking midnight when those games released. And, like, it was already, like, if that wasn't enough of a problem already, that's early enough. It could be argued, like, oh, you didn't get the game as soon as it dropped or on midnight, like, to play it yourself, or you could have avoided being on YouTube at that time. Valid argument, but also shitty because, like, you still shouldn't do that. Now, these fuckers are uploading this shit before the fucking game is
before.
out!
Bro,
Days before!
Ragnarok
It's
already.
ridiculous!
People already uploading Ragnarok spoilers. It's fucking insane. The game's not even out yet.
Like, dude, it's like, oh my god, like, literally, how did you not, like, you're literally like the kid on fucking Christmas Eve who goes up to your parents and you're like, Mom, okay, I know it's like not, I know it's not Christmas yet, but we think because it's Christmas Eve, we should be able to open one present early.
You are all fucking scum.
That's you. That's literally
I
you.
hope one of these shitty channels finds us. I hope to God you find us. Because, bro, your mother never loved you. Your father never loved you. Your mom wishes she fucking swallowed you, bro. That's honestly from the bottom of my heart. Go fuck yourself, bitch.
There was a lot we wanted to talk about on this week's episode, but
Bro,
we got
I'm
a little too
hyped up.
lost in the sauce.
I'm hopped
Me
up
too.
on that fucking espresso at the moment. So
Me too. Next week we'll either do a full review session, and then the week after we'll talk about Elon killing Twitter with whatever new dumb shit he announces. Because now he said some shit about trying to put the whole site behind a paywall, which I'm for, because maybe that'll actually kill Twitter once and for all. I don't fucking know.
God
We'll do
damn,
the
man.
dramatic reading of Anthony's comment next week, as well as No Nut November. We have a lot to talk about. We got a little lost in the sauce today. I did not mean to vent about Sahnic Farces as much as I did.
We had some
I
very
sounded like an
strong.
old man yelling at a cloud. It's like it's a 5-year-old game, and I'm screaming about it.
We all had some strong thoughts on today's episode.
Yeah,
But guys,
we did.
Here are our plugs.
Our large plugachinos.
You could go check us out.
Oh, my mistake. Vente plugachinos.
Shut the fuck up.
Dude, shut up.
Dude, shut up. Try to say our plugs here. Go check us out. Obviously on David's YouTube, Nintoonist.com/go fuck yourself. Just where you could go where you could find all of the latest and greatest coming out of this man. By the way, guys,
I'll try to make a review of Forces.
yeah.
I want to do it. I'm gonna record my footage.
I was gonna spoil it first. I was like, guys, probably maybe somewhere, maybe not so close down the line. Perhaps your boy might be making a video about Frontiers, and you're gonna be talking about it. So keep an eye out for that, because I know you guys literally are like, just this is David when he like uploads anything that's non-podcast related. He just rubs his nipples because like he just sees those numbers like when y'all like come to those videos, because like I know most of y'all don't really like our podcast, and if you don't, go fuck yourself. But like I see y'all like literally just as soon as David uploads anything that's not podcast related, y'all just go like, it's like, oh shit, yeah, you uploaded that Strikers video? What the fuck? Like I saw all your guys' comments on that video.
Oh yeah,
Y'all are rabid, honestly, and this goes to show you that David does pump out
280 views. Oh wow, that's fucking
No. Like thing, hey, like just putting into perspective, like compared to at least our podcast, like they look forward to not podcast stuff, then podcast stuff.
The podcast doesn't have visuals, Denise.
I know. That's why people are small brained, because they need their eyes to see.
Well, you heard it here. If you don't like our podcast, you're fucking stupid. I mean, Dennis was the one who actually had the balls to say it. So.
But anyways, yes, we are on Spotify. We're on Instagram. We are. We might not be on Twitter anymore because because of
he fucking banned the H3H3 podcast Twitter account permanently for impersonating him. After he was like tweeting about like comedy is now legal on Twitter again, like, oh my god, it's such a shit show. It's such a shit show. Whatever, yeah, Dennis has got our plugs,
Yeah.
all
So
the shit.
and you guys could also check it down. Like if y'all are too lazy, you could just check us out. Like in the description, all the links are gonna be down there, and be sure to like, comment, subscribe, like all that good shit. But play games you like. And fuck what other people say. Honestly, life is way too short to deal with that kind of bullshit, especially if you're a 28-year-old man who still plays games about a blue
Don't
hedge.
go that route. Don't go
I know. But yeah, guys, that's
made
gonna
for
be
the
our-
28-year-olds.
That's true. Yeah, honestly, yeah, that is true.
Yeah.
But so yeah, guys, this was our episode today. Hope you liked it. We're gonna be signing off now. David, do we have any last words for the lovely lady and gentleman?
Blue blur, not blue balls.
Blue bird, not blue balls.
Not Bluesy.
Not yet. But peace out, guys. We're gonna be out. Bye.
Bye.
Gotta go fast. Gotta come fast.